KTM 390 Adventure. Much of the focus for adventure bikes is engines over 700cc, so it's good to see another mid-sized bike available. As usual, we want to take a more critical approach. We will start with the known issues. The bike is made in India and derived from the 390 Duke, which has been around since 2013. There were quite a lot of known issues in the early years, but the good news is that most of these were addressed by the time the Adventure model was brought out. These are not just my comments, but also those from many riders in other reviews and on various forums. Vibration. A reasonable number of riders report their fingers start to tingle due to vibrations at certain revs. A change of hand grips or handlebar mods are easy fixes. Many owners say the seat is hard and uncomfortable for any distance riding. I agree. It is surprising given the road-oriented nature of the bike. The stock exhaust is quite exposed and easily damaged. This is common on many bigger adventure bikes, but it's surprising they didn't opt for a more dirt bike styled exhaust on this smaller bike. Foot pegs tilt forward, which many riders find uncomfortable when standing. This road-oriented feature can be changed with aftermarket pegs. The weight. The reported weight is 172 kilograms fully fueled. This is actually heavier than quite a few bikes at a similar price or engine size. To counter this, the bike certainly doesn't feel heavy as it's quite a low bike. And I'm sure that low price means some parts are steel instead of alloy. It's also roughly on par with competitors like the BMW 310 and Kawasaki Versys 300. Some owners complain about things like the cheap mirrors, excess use of plastic in the design, and limited adjustment of suspension and the ABS system. But considering the price, I really don't think these are valid criticisms. What do we like? The price. It varies from country to country, but overall it's around the same price as its key competitors. If you like bling, you get a fair bit for the money with higher end electronics and basic ABS. It comes standard with a decent skid plate, extremely rare on any adventure or dirt bike. Performance-wise, the engine works nicely. Don't expect any massive performance. It has obviously been tuned to last for a long time. The suspension is fine if you don't try and ride aggressively off-road. Will this bike suit you? That is a tricky question. The bike is definitely very road-oriented. It has cast wheels, although this test bike had the expensive spoked wheel option fitted. It only has the 19-inch front wheel up front. The suspension is comparatively short compared to most adventure bikes, and you do feel the weight as the terrain gets rougher. I know lots of reviews show riders doing wheelies, power slides and jumps off-road, but this definitely feels like an adventurized road bike. We think it fits on the spectrum roughly here. And this is not a criticism. It's an absolute ball of fun on twisty mountain roads. But if you like to hit the rougher stuff regularly, we urge you to consider the more dirt-oriented options. And feel free to argue about this diagram, but it's just trying to give a rough indication. Seat height and ergonomics. For shorter riders, the seat height of 855mm works well and is in the middle of its competitors. Overall, it does feel like a bike set up for shorter riders. Riders over 6 foot or 183 centimetres will progressively feel more and more cramped. It can be helped with a taller seat and bar risers, but physically it is quite a small bike. I found standing on the foot pegs very uncomfortable and sitting. The foot peg positioning and overall ergos are also very road-oriented. Even our shortest test rider found it was slightly awkward to stand. No doubt messing around with bars, risers and foot pegs will help. Hopefully you will find this info useful. It's not an exhaustive review, but aims to cover a few areas that others don't. Have you ridden the KTM 390 Adventure? Do you own one? We are keen to hear your thoughts.